Hey everyone, my name is Emmanuel Excellent, and today I'll be walking you through web development for Tech 14s this week. So, today you'll be learning how to build amazing websites and web applications with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Let's go. What is web development? Web development is the process of creating websites and web applications that people can access through the internet. It is the art and science of building websites. So, what are the things you should know? One, it is creative and technical skill. Two, it offers many career opportunities in tech, combining design, problem solving, and also coding, and you can also learn at any age. Yes. Then why learn web development? One, you create your own website and apps. You develop valuable skills for future careers. You can express your creativity through code and you can understand how the internet works. You know what? There are over 1.8 billion websites on the internet today, and each one was built by a web developer. So get ready to build your own. So when we talk about website, it is divided into two main components. The first one is the front end, and the second one is the back end. So let me take you through what is the front end and the back end and how do you go about it. Now, when we talk about the front end, it's what the users see and interact with. It involves the layout, design, and the user experience, and it uses HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, which focuses on the user interface and visual elements. Now, take for example what you see when you visit a particular website on your phone. The layout, the design that you see on your phone is exactly what is the front end. So, but the back end, it is behind the scene functionality. It manages the server, databases, and the application logic. And it uses languages such as Python, Ruby, PHP, and so on. It focuses on data processing and business logic. So you don't see that it is behind the scene. Now, for example, look at my image here now. This front end part, it shows a laptop, right? And this is where the interface will be shown to the client. That is the thing that our client will see. But behind the scene, we have the back end working, which is consists of the database, the server, and also the web server too. So now think of it like this. Front end is like the interior design of a restaurant, what customers see, while the back end is like the kitchen where the food is prepared. Yes. So now let's look at the basics of building our front end here. First thing you need to know, just as I've said earlier, that to build a front end, we used HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So now I'll be walking you through how to go about the HTML basics. The full meaning of HTML mean hypertext markup language, and it is the backbone of any website that defines the structure of web content. It creates the structure of the web pages. It uses tags to define elements, and it organizes content into headings, paragraphs, lists, etc. And it also links pages together with what we call hyperlinks. Take for example, look at this my short code. It starts from the tag doc type HTML, defining the type of document we are working with, which in this case is HTML. Then we open our HTML tag. Inside the HTML tag, we have the head tag where we put in the details of our website. In this case, we have the title, which is my first web page for the title of our website here. Then we have the body tag, which consists of the content. If you look at that, we have the hello world, which is the heading one. Then we have the this is my first web page as a paragraph in this case. Look at this image now, which defines the structure. It starts with the document type, which is the above. It starts with the HTML, then continues with the head, where you have the details of your website. Then we have the body, where your content lives. So now let's look at CSS. Now, think of CSS as the paint and decoration that makes a house beautiful. So it makes our website beautiful. Without the CSS, there won't be any beauty in our HTML, because HTML is just for the structure. So with CSS, you are able to style it, meaning the color you see, the font you see, those layouts you see when you visit a website, either using a phone or a tab or your laptop. The designs are made up with CSS. And right here, I'll be walking you through the basics of CSS. First thing you need to know is our CSS controls the look and the feel of our website. It helps to add colors, fonts, and also the layout. It separates content, which is the HTML, from our design, and it makes our website responsive for different devices. That is, when you visit through phone, you can see it responsive, tailored to that phone. If you visit through a tab, it is also responsive, and if you visit through a laptop, it is also responsive. Now look at this, my short code here, which is a basic example of CSS. Now in this case, I'm using a body tag from my HTML. If you can remember, I made mention of a what we call body tag earlier, where your content lives in HTML. So in this case, in CSS, we want to add a styling to it. First of all, we add a font family, which is the Arial, yes, sans serif. Yeah, don't be bothered with that. There are lots of font families you can use online. Go online, search them out depending on the website you are building, and also your own personal choice. You can go online, there are a lot of font families you can use. Another thing is, look at that, we also set the background color with a color code. Yes, so in this case, there are also a lot of color codes online where you can see to know the kind of color codes you want to use. Then another part here, we also have H1, setting the color of our heading, in this case to be this color. Remember, you can also find them too online. So very easy. So what you need to know is the how CSS is used to add colors, font, and layout. Then after that, you start looking for you look at your design, then start adding designs to your HTML. Then so let's go to the third part here. So we have the JavaScript basics. Yes. So think JavaScript to be the brain of a website that makes it respond to user actions. It helps to add interactivity, and it makes our website dynamic and interactive with the user. Now let's go. Firstly, it creates the interactive elements like buttons, which is used to validate forms and user input. It updates content without reloading the page, which powers our games and animation on website. So without JavaScript, there won't be interactivity with your website. Yeah, so JavaScript helps to add interactivity. Look at this, my small code, to give you a tip or example of how it works. This function is called a greet user function, and in this function we want to greet a user. So first of all, we want to know the name of the user, right? So with JavaScript, we can be able to do this in our website. We will use the HTML to define the form, CSS to style the form, then JavaScript to add interactivity to the form, like greeting. Now let's look at that. First of all, we get the name of the user, and in this case, it is name equals to document.get element by ID. So what is the ID? Name input dot value. So what is the value? Is the name, right? So if the name is empty, in this case. So we will send an alert to the user that please enter your name. But if the name is not empty, that is S, they will send an alert that hello, your name. So the name can be anything depending on what the user input. It can be anything. So we'll be able to add interactivity with JavaScript. Okay. So the next thing is, how do you go about it? First thing you need to know is, as a beginner, you need resources to follow along with. And one of the greatest resources is where you are right now. And this is Neon Tech 14s. At Neon Tech 14s, we are ready to walk you through, to learn, guide you, and also, make you a better software developer. So, and other resources you can also use is Free Code Camp, Code Academy, and so on. So, tools to get started are: number one, VS Code, which is the editor you will be using. So, you also have Code Pen, is an online editor. Maybe you want to just test out a code online. Then we have GitHub for sharing your code. So, take your time. You can just go through each of them and have a basic knowledge about them. So we have a tip here that I want to give you, which is the pro tip. Make sure you always start with small projects and gradually build your skills. Don't rush. Start with small projects. And remember, everyone starts as a beginner. Yes. Be patient with yourself and keep practicing. Keep practicing. Very, very important. So, what are the key takeaways today? So, thank you for learning so far. And the key takeaways here is: number one, web development is both creative and technical. You can use it to combine, both design and your logical problem solving skills. And one thing you need to know: a complete website is always made up of a front end and a back end. And from the front end part, it is where the user will see, which is made up of the CSS, HTML, and JavaScript, which is also a short form. The short form is JS. While the backend powers the functionality, application server, database, and so on. Another thing you need to know, another thing we've learned is also that start small and build gradually. Start with the basics, very, very important. Start with learning HTML, CSS styling, and JavaScript for interactivity. Then practice makes perfect. Use resources provided for you, starting from Neon and other resources that can help you out. Then build your own project and develop your skills. So the next step is choose a project idea you are passionate about and start building it. Start thinking of it, think about it, make research about it, and start building it. Yeah. So my question for you guys is, what kind of website would you like to build first? Is it your personal blog? Is it a portfolio website for yourself? Or is it a game or something else? You can put it in the comment section, or you can also use the group provided for the Tech 14s at Neon for interactivity, to ask questions, anything you want to do, put it there. Then one of the facilitator will surely reach out to you to answer your question. So let us know what you want to build first and what you are even passionate about building right now. So another thing is, which part interests you the most? Yes, is it the front end part? Is it the back end? Or is it even the both? Make a decision. So how might you use these skills in the future? Is it for your career? Is it just an hobby? Or is it for a school project? Or you want to use it to help others? And the last question is, what will you learn next? Are you passionate about learning HTML and CSS, the advanced part of it, or you want to start JavaScript frameworks or backend languages? Don't forget, always start with a project that you are passionate about, because it makes your learning more fun and meaningful. So thank you for joining today. Have a nice day. Bye.